Good morning, everybody. Let's have some breakfast. Okay, this is one of Honey's favorite breakfasts, mine too. It's going to be a parfait, and I'm going to be using these raspberry drop scones, only I'm going to be using blueberries instead. This comes from George Stella's Still Living Low Carb book, and this is a wonderful book. It's one of my favorites of his. Very, very simple recipe. Is super easy to make. We're going to use 2 eggs, 1 cup of almond flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, and what else? Oh, 1/3 cup of swerve sweetener, and this is the granular version, and 1 cup of blueberries. So let's get started. Let me give you a quick screenshot here so you can take a picture if you want to. All right, I'm going to heat up the oven to 375. It's going to end up cooking for about 15 minutes, so I'll give it some time to heat up. And I'm going to crack these eggs into the bowl with one hand because I'm holding my camera with the other, and I think I did pretty good. These are really fresh eggs. The girls just laid them yesterday, so they're a little thicker. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to beat the eggs until they're frothy, and it's just going to take a few seconds. Doesn't take long at all. We have frothiness. Okay, now into the froth, I'm going to add all of the ingredients except for the berries. And you could, mix up the dry ingredients first before you add them in here. But for this recipe, I found that it doesn't really matter. You can add them all in just like this, and it's just fine. So I'm going to take a whisk, and I'm just going to lightly mix them until they're combined. I guess I could have used a spoon for this. It would have just worked just as well. But anyway, okay, so after I get this all mixed up, I'm just going to gently fold in the blueberries. Or raspberries. Now, I have found if you use frozen fruit, it actually makes the scones spread too much. So fresh fruit is probably better. And I'm going to separate them into 6 equal sections. And I'm baking them on a parchment sheet so that they do not stick. It's really important. And I'm just going to stick this cookie sheet in to the oven, and they're going to cook for 15 minutes. Let's take them on in. There we go. Bye, scones. See you in a minute. Look how gorgeous they are. They are so good. Now, as they cool down, they will firm up. So they'll be really soft when they first come out, so be careful. Now, here's the parfait. I'm going to take a 1/2 cup of the low-fat cottage cheese, and then I take 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream, 1 teaspoon of a skinny syrup. I like strawberry rose in this. I'm going to put 3 little pieces of strawberry in and mix it up until it's thick. And then that goes on top of my cottage cheese, 1 cup of berries. I'm using blackberries and strawberries. And then I take a scone and I just kind of like break it up on top. It is so good this way. And then on top of that, I'm going to use about a tablespoon of the keto crunch like nut mix that I use, and it's just kind of a mix of unsweetened coconut and some of the keto crunch that they sell at Costco or Sam's Club. This was a wonderful breakfast. I hope you try it and like it.